Hi, my name is Alexandra F. And my main mediums are collage, mixed media, photography, dance, and choreography being the main ones. My background, I grew up in the Washington, D.C. area. I grew up in a Jewish household. And my parents, although neither of them pursued art professionally, they both were huge patrons of the arts, and so was a lot of my extended family. They're also just really incredible, educated people, really interested in education, and made that a big part of me and my sister's lives. And were just really supportive of me as an artist. I think this impacts the way I see the world and create art, in that I always felt encouraged to explore myself in an artistic way and to learn more about other artists and just educate myself in a variety of ways. My upbringing prompted a specific reference point within my work. I can't say there's like a specific reference point. There's certainly a lot of themes of Judaism in my own development within a Jewish culture. So you're working for my certain concepts or themes. I think the answer to the second part of one, or the third part of question one, is really, having family that fled Europe for America, Cuba and then America, in some cases, at the start of World War II as Jewish people, and trying to understand where I fit as a Jewish member of the diaspora in a way. I mean, not in a way, but, it's kind of complicated because on the other side, like, I am born American and, trying to grapple with those identities, and my own spiritual identity as a Jew as well. My biggest influences, probably people in my own family. My paternal grandmother, Esther Frankel-Farber, she was a founding member of the Jewish Orthodox Feminist Alliance and was also a huge lover of art and performance art in particular, or opera and dance and musical theater and things like that. So I would say she's a huge influence, and both my own parents as well, are just very passionate people, very giving people, really smart people. I'd say my family are some of my biggest influences. What am I focusing on right now? Choreography for sure. I love choreographing. It's one of my favorite ways to express my creative ideas. And taking ideas from my, more classically visual art aspects, and infusing them into choreography and finding new ways to explore them. The biggest challenge of being an artist, specifically as a female choreographer, we're extremely outnumbered in the field. There's huge gender gaps, especially in the United States and especially in the ballet world, as opposed to dance in a broader definition. So breaking glass ceilings, I think, is the biggest challenge for me right now. What advice would I give to my younger self? I would tell my younger self just to keep going. Just keep going, keep creating. Don't be discouraged. Try to break the cycle of feeling like you're not enough by comparison, because everyone takes their own path. Have I ever tried any unconventional mediums or techniques? Probably the most unconventional stuff I've tried, which I know I'm not entirely unique in this, but I have experimented with wearing point shoes on paper, with paint, and exploring movement and visual traces of movement, which I think at the same time is a really cool idea and also kind of cliche. So I haven't done a ton of it, but I do enjoy that. And then, experimenting with different kinds of movement, using non-dancers, which again is done in the dance world. It's not the most unique thing, but especially working with my husband, Preston Light, who's also an artist and musician who has no dance training. I like to work with him and try my hand at choreographing on someone who has very different approach to movement than I do, being someone who's hyper classically trained from the age of 3. I have a hard time listening to music when I work that has lyrics. For some reason, my brain gets very distracted, or like too much structure, if that makes sense. So even classical music is not my favorite to listen to. I really like ambient music when I'm working, though. Chihei Hatakemiya is one of my favorite artists to listen to, like very atmospheric ambient music, as well as Emily Sprague is one of my favorites as well. The best reaction someone has had, it's hard to say. Like sometimes, especially after a dance performance, like I can see, younger generations of women or girls really excited about it, and knowing that they can look at me and say, okay, there are people who are like me doing this, because when I was in school, I had that with some teachers, but in my professional career, I really haven't had that. So I like to be that figure to someone, like just a reminder that they can do it too. So I think that's the best reaction is, the comfort of knowing they're capable of doing this too. What do I hope people take away from my artwork? I honestly hope people take away whatever they take away from it, if that makes sense. I don't have a predetermined idea. Some of the work that I've done is relating to women who have been lost throughout history and bringing back their names and their stories, as well as composers or other aspects of the work. So I guess in some way, like bringing those back up and that people take away their memory is important to me. But as far as like their own personal experience with it, I'm really happy to have everyone have their own individual experience, and that's something exciting to me. Thank you so much. Oh, upcoming events or social handles. Applying to a lot. The dance film version of my work, Flora Cycle, which I did for the Frank Lloyd Wright Martin House, should be premiering online at some point. But you can follow me at Farbie on Instagram, and that's Farbie. And yeah, thank you.